Welcome in to Ranimal Media. How's everybody doing this evening? Before we get started over here, we're gonna grab. I thought I was. I need to wake up. That's fine. Trying to get the link to this live so I can send it out to everybody. YouTube's being difficult. Anyway, we'll come over here for a second. Let YouTube get warmed up. Welcome in to Ranimal Media. It's good to have all you guys here. We're back doing live updates on the war in Iran. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. There doesn't seem to be much going on at the moment. That seems to always happen when a Ranimal goes live. Welcome in, everyone. All right, I just set up the live chat. Feel free to stop by and let me know what you guys are all up to in the chat. I appreciate it. Now, like I was trying to do before we get started, let me come back over here, grab the link to the live. I can share it out. Oops. Here. And there you go. Here. Bring us back here. Now I'm gonna rush over to X real quick to drop it off on X. Drop it into Facebook, and then we'll be started and on our way. Welcome in, everybody. How y'all doing? Let me know where you're watching from in the comments box below. I do appreciate it. Welcome in to Ranimal Media. All right, I tossed in an X, and I'm just gonna toss it into Facebook, and we'll be on our way. Sorry about that, everybody. I haven't figured out why I can't keep you guys streaming as I share what I'm doing in the background. That doesn't make any sense. Well, there we go. I shared it. It's ready to go. We're live. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome into Ranimal Media. We're back. We're going to go over here. We're going to make sure we get come over here to Mr. Steve.
That's the Riyadh
Mr.
embassy. We
Steve.
heard it had been struck by a drone yesterday.
Welcome in, everybody.
That's a report about what happened yesterday.
Welcome into Ranimal Media, everybody. Welcome in. It's good to have
Some
each
of
and
our
every one
viewers
of
are
you here.
mentioning flight radar. Give me a moment here. Give me one moment here. If you go to flightradar24.com, you can see Iranian and Iraqi airspace cleared, and Kuwaiti airspace, and Syrian airspace. But there have been lots of planes flying into the Middle East. We can filter for military planes. Military filter.
There we go. There you got my station all set up. Welcome into Ranimal Media. Hope you guys are all having a good evening.
Are there more planes flying into the Middle East? Hey, look, there's that one. Hey, look, it looks like
Oops,
that
I
left
set
from the
up.
U.S.
I'm gonna
Maybe
try.
some more tankers and
We're doing a good job.
flying from the U.S. and cargo planes flying from the U.S. to the Middle East. That one took off from the U.S. Seems to be heading possibly to the Middle East. That one took off from the U.S. And this one here, and this one here. There's a bunch of
Ranimal's
tankers
still trying to
planes
figure
flying.
out his station. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome into Ranimal
Jordan?
Media.
I don't know what's
Glad
normally
each and every one of you
flying around
decided to
here.
join me this
Oh,
evening.
over here people are saying. Yeah,
Welcome in.
people point
Welcome.
out this. Our viewers
Viewer
point out
discretion
we have
is advised
that
on Ranimal
tanker,
Media.
that tanker, that tanker. You know, this happened last night too. Same thing happened last night. These took off from Tel
A little rare,
Aviv.
we're drinking some
This
Mountain
might
Dew
be
voltage.
happening every day for all I know. These all took
Giving
off
the
from Tel
coffee a
Aviv. We
break.
saw this last night. We saw a bunch of
Welcome
planes.
into Ranimal
We
Media.
saw a bunch of tankers, refueling tankers, take off from Tel Aviv and head towards the middle, head towards Iran, and then they disappeared. So last night I think we saw 4 or 5 at once. So that might be something just happening every day to, refill U.S. and Israeli attack planes.
Hope everybody's having a good day out there today.
But you do see all these tankers there.
Let me know where you guys are watching from in the comments box.
They all took off
Appreciate it.
from Tel Aviv.
Make sure you guys share this video out. Help us spread awareness. Also, help Ranimal grow the community. He does appreciate it. Thank you.
I assume they're doing it again. A lot of them, a bunch of them now have turned off their transponders. Yeah, these are not being actively. When you see the black dotted line, that's estimated position. So a bunch of them you can't even track them actively anymore.
Welcome into Ranimal
One of our
Media.
viewers says thirsty fighter jets. That's interesting. You can go to flightradar24.com and check them out yourself, if you'd like. Hey, thanks to the dude 3442. That's really nice of you. Confidence in God and Lavender Haze, our members. Thank you. CW, thank you so much. Dan Milky. Hey, thanks, Dan. Thanks for being a longtime viewer. I appreciate that, Dan. Thanks. Jeff0630. Thank you. Trevor Keys, who says, happy birthday, Milagros. Thanks, Trevor. Thanks, Obelisk, who said, see all the planes out of Tel Aviv. Flight Radar. Thanks, Obelisk, 86. Thanks, Otriar driver Chris.
Welcome in to Ranimal Media.
Thanks, Accuret. Thanks, Michael Burmester. Thanks,
Welcome in, welcome
Vast
in.
Majority. Thanks, Lemaine. Thank you, Katie Kubiak. Thanks, URX Aradhya. Thank you. Emma Langford, Midas Cam, thanks. Michelle Wilkins, Vast Majority. You know, we usually don't really hear it on the audio. When on the Beirut stream, we sometimes see ground fire going up into the sky, but we don't really hear audio with it. At least I usually don't. Thanks, Giovanni Nicole.
We might have to go find some extra news that was happening today and get caught up
Will
on
Iran announce
what
their new
happened.
supreme leader soon?
Ranimal was off and on today, streaming. We need to get caught up on what's going on this story, everybody. Welcome into Ranimal Media. I do appreciate each and every one of you for stopping by.
Igor Bobik reports, so Trump administration officials briefed members of Congress today about Iran. We've been hearing reactions. Igor Bobik reports that Josh Hawley says after the classified briefing, the U.S. military operation in Iran sounds quite large. It sounded very open-ended to me, he said. He said the aims are very ambitious. As I mentioned, Senator Richard Blumenthal of Connecticut said after the briefing, I am more fearful than ever after this briefing that we may...
Ranimal does not condone war, everybody. Not cool.
Faytux News mentioned that Mark Satter, with roll call, said Senator Andy Kim of New Jersey said during the Iran briefing today, officials said they expected the U.S. death toll to rise, and some of those deaths could be the result of Iran's targeting of embassies, etc.
Welcome in to Ranimal Media. Viewer discretion is always advised on Ranimal Media. This is the live.
A lot of reports online about attacks in Iraq tonight
Welcome in
by the U.S. and Israel. N12 News says Arab media reports
be sure to like,
several
share,
attacks
and
against
subscribe to
targets
Ranimal Media.
of pro-Iranian militias in Iraq. I don't have video, live video from Iraq or from Iran. So we've heard a bunch of reports of airstrikes going on in those places. And Israel, hold on a second. Update on Operation Epic Fury. Hey, new video from Central Command. Update on
Breaking news.
Right now,
Ranimal
let's watch
Media.
what Central Command has to say.
Let's check this out, everybody.
They just came out with a
Breaking
video.
news.
What are they saying?
Viewer discretion is
5
advised.
minute video. 5 minute video.
Let's
oh
get
my
it.
gosh, we're going to put this on the screen for you. What do they say?
Welcome in to Ranimal Media, everybody. Live update on Ranimal Media. Welcome in. Welcome in. Let's go. What do we got?
Cooper, the commander of United States Central Command. In this capacity, I lead U.S. military forces in the Middle East. I'm here to provide you an update on Operation Epic Fury, now in our 4th day of execution. First, I'd like to express my deepest condolences to the families and teammates of the extraordinary Americans who've been killed in action. And I'd also like to extend our prayers for a speedy recovery to the wounded. Yesterday, you heard from Secretary Hegseth and the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs. Today, I'd like to give you an operational update on where we are and provide you with some key facts. By order of the President of the United States and the Secretary of War, our military in the Middle East is undertaking an unprecedented operation to eliminate Iran's ability to threaten Americans as they've been doing for nearly half a century. Having spent more than 36 years in the military, I could not be prouder of America's sons and daughters in uniform who are answering the call. More than 50,000 troops, 200 fighters, 2 aircraft carriers, and bombers from the United States are participating in this operation, and more capability is on the way. These forces bring a massive amount of firepower,
More
representing
capabilities
the
on the
largest
way.
buildup by the U.S. in the Middle East in a generation. In the opening hours of Operation Epic Fury, U.S. Central Command forces, together with
Smoke
Israel,
if you got
delivered
'em, everybody.
overwhelming and unprecedented strikes into Iran. Many of you may remember the shock and awe strikes of 2003.
Yeah, shocking.
The
Oh,
first
that's right.
24 hours of
Holy
this
cow.
operation were nearly double the scale, and we continue with 24/7 strikes into Iran from seabed to space and cyberspace. Now, we're less than 100 hours into this operation, and we've already struck nearly 2,000 targets with more than 2,000 munitions.
Breaking news
We
on
have
Ranimal Media.
severely degraded Iran's air defenses and destroyed hundreds of Iran's ballistic missiles, launchers, and drones. And in simple terms, we're focused on shooting all the things that can shoot at us. Our B-2 bombers and B-1 bombers have executed uncontested surgical strikes against multiple missile facilities deep
Gonna
inside
send them
Iran.
back to the
And
Stone
then just
Age.
last night, a B-52 bomber force struck ballistic missile and command and control posts. We are also sinking the Iranian Navy, the entire Navy.
The
Thus far,
entire
we've destroyed 17
Iranian
Iranian
Navy.
ships, including the most operational Iranian submarine that now has a hole in its side. For decades, the Iranian regime has harassed international shipping. Today, there's not a single Iranian ship underway in the Arabian Gulf, Strait of Hormuz, or Gulf of Oman, and we will not stop. We will continue to conduct dynamic targeting operations. We're hunting
will not
Iran's
stop,
last
everybody.
remaining mobile ballistic missile launchers.
Make sure you guys
to
share
eliminate
this
what I
out
would
for
characterize as their lingering launch capability. Now,
awareness.
in retaliation,
This
the
is
Iranian
crazy.
regime has launched over 500 ballistic missiles and over 2,000 drones. To be clear, Iran is indiscriminately targeting civilians as they launch these missiles and drones. You've seen it on TV. The evidence is crystal clear and overwhelming. Having said this, we are seeing Iran's ability to hit us and our partners is declining, while our combat power, on the other hand, is building. And my overall operational assessment is that we are ahead of our game plan. Along the way, every single branch of our military is achieving unprecedented success. I'll talk about just a few of them. Our naval forces have deployed multiple waves of cruise missiles, obliterating Iranian command and control and air defense capabilities. From 2 aircraft carrier strike groups, we're squeezing Iran from the sea and have them
2
backed into their own
aircraft
ports.
carrier strike groups.
U.S. Air Forces are doing what they do best, executing a high volume of airstrikes right into Iran. Operationally, the 2 most powerful air forces in the world, the U.S. and Israel, are dominating the skies of the world's largest state sponsor of terror. Our U.S. Army soldiers are defending ourselves and our partners, and in a historic first, the U.S. Army fired long-range precision strike missiles called PRISMs in combat, providing an unrivaled deep strike capability. Also for the first time, U.S. Central Command's drone task force, called Task Force Scorpion Strike, launched countless one-way attack drones, achieving massive effects.
One-way attack drones.
I'd like to point out these drones were originally an Iranian design. We took them back to America, made them better, and fired them right back at Iran. I just could not be prouder of our men and women in uniform, leveraging innovation to create dilemmas for the enemy. There is no adversary too determined, no mission too difficult for the great soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, Guardians, and Coast Guardsmen
Just
that make
put
up
down
the
your
most
weapons,
powerful military the world has ever
retire.
seen. Our
Knock it off,
military
everybody.
objectives are crystal clear, and our people are executing an immensely complex and
America
historic
doesn't
mission
want war.
with relentless lethality, conviction,
Put
and
your guns
professionalism.
down.
And we've just begun.
Surrender, be
And I
done
have
with
the
it.
utmost confidence that we, alongside our partners, will absolutely achieve our military objectives. To all our warriors, Godspeed. Thanks so much.
Godspeed.
There's the update video
Thank
that was
troops.
just put out by
We do
Central
appreciate you
Command.
guys.
I do want to show you guys, we haven't even looked at what President Trump said today when he was asked some questions. I think
What
in a
did
little
Mr.
bit
Trump
I'm going to
say?
show you that.
We tried to watch Trump earlier, and he was just talking about other stuff that had nothing to do with the war. Welcome into Ranimal Media, everybody. I'm Ranimal. It's nice to meet you. We're standing live trying to get up to date coverage on what's happening in the war in Iraq right now. Iran. Apparently Iraq's being bombed right now. Well, we don't have footage of it apparently.
So, earlier we heard reports about a strike in Beirut. We didn't see it on this camera, and I didn't see it on another Beirut camera. Ariel Oserin, who is with I-24 News, he says there was an
You guys
airstrike
share out this video.
Aramu,
spread awareness,
south of
everybody.
Beirut.
I do appreciate
He
it.
says that location of a strike is unusual because that area is usually inhabited by Druze and Christians. So it's possible we didn't see that strike on the camera before because it happened in an area that normally the strikes wouldn't happen in. Ariel Oserin reports that strike reportedly targeted a commander in Lebanon's branch of the Muslim Brotherhood. And we did hear in that video that the U.S. claimed they had destroyed 17 Iranian vessels. When Marco Rubio spoke earlier today, he talked about how the attacks on Iran were going to step up in the coming hours and days. And he said, it sounded like he said the phrase, unleash Chang. And I don't know if he was missing.
It was a little chilly in here earlier.
Is that a real phrase? Unleash
Still wintertime
Chang?
for the Ranimal. Welcome in
People were
to
talking-
Ranimal Media.
Yeah,
Welcome
unleash
in, welcome
Chang.
in.
I see a couple articles about it. France 24 said, Rubio said, we're going to unleash Chang on these people. New York Post says,
Whatever that
Rubio
means.
said U.S. was preparing to unleash Chang on Iran. Oh, the White House posted it. Hey, look, the White House posted it.
What does that even mean?
Check it out. Rubio, we're going to unleash Chang on those people.
Okay then.
What does unleash Chang mean?
What's those people mean?
We're going to
Welcome
unleash
into Ranimal
Chang
Media,
on
everybody.
these people in the next
I
few
appreciate you
hours
guys
and
for
days.
stopping and hanging
You're
out.
going to really begin to perceive a change in the scope and intensity of these attacks.
Welcome in to Ranimal Media.
I said this yesterday, and I repeat, what's about to, you're about to see, we're going to unleash Chang on these people in the next few hours and days. You're going to really begin to perceive a change in the scope and in the intensity of these attacks as, frankly, the two most powerful air forces in the world take apart this terroristic regime and defang it and take away its ability to threaten its neighbors or hide behind a zone of immunity that allows them to develop their nuclear ambitions. This terroristic,
rip the fangs out of ya.
radical, Claire said this yesterday, and I repeat, what's about to, you're about to see, we're going to unleash Chang on these people in the next few hours and days. You're going to really begin to perceive a change in the scope. Hours and days. You're going to really begin to perceive a change in the scope and in the intensity
Okay,
of these
Mr.
attacks.
Steve, you don't have to keep
As Frank
replaying
unleashed
that many
Chang on these
times.
people in the next few hours and days. You're going to really begin to perceive a change in the scope
I'm gonna do
and
it
in
then,
the
man.
intensity of these. About to see,
We got
we're
the
going to
idea.
unleash Chang on these people in the next few hours and days.
It has
You're
no-
going to really
no
begin
meaning.
to perceive
I
a
don't
change
know what
in the
that
scope
means.
and in the intensity.
It's interesting. The White House did. This is a
means what you
White
think
House
it
account.
means.
And they reposted it, and it says unleash Chang. Now,
It's just a
I
figure of
figured, well,
speech.
either it's a mistake or I just don't know what it is, but like lots of other people do. It doesn't seem like the chat. I don't have everybody in the chat yelling at me saying it means this. So the chat certainly doesn't seem to have a consensus on what it means.
What you guys what it means?
I'm
Means
going
what it
to
means.
ask AI if it's a phrase.
Ask AI. I could ask AI. We'll let him ask AI. Ranimal's a bit lazy. Let him go about doing it. Thank you, Mr. Steve. Welcome in to Ranimal Media, everybody. It's good to have you guys in here, hanging out with me.
Oh, Gemini AI says it's a real phrase, usually spelled unleash Chang, Chiang. It's a bit of an inside baseball Republican idiom with a long, strange history that Marco Rubio has been part of for decades. The phrase originally refers to Chiang Kai-shek, the leader of the Chinese nationalist forces who fled to Taiwan after losing the Chinese Civil War. Back in the 1950s Cold War, hardline China lobby Republicans argued that the Truman administration should unleash
Hope you guys are all having a
Chiang,
good day out there today. Good evening, good night.
that they should let
Let me know
Chiang's forces
what it is for you guys in the comments box below.
invade the
I
mainland.
do appreciate it. I do read all the comments.
George
Thank
H.W.
you.
Bush began to use the phrase on the tennis court, ironically, saying he would yell and
We're gonna mute him. Pull him over here. Go live over here for a second. This is Beirut. I don't see anything happening, so we'll move this over. We'll come over here. We'll make a brand new internet pop up. Freshness. We like the freshness, you know. I'll cycle through some of these and see if there's anything that we're not seeing. Grab this Israel feed and pull it up over the inside. This is footage from 2 days ago. This is a multi-camera. This is footage from 2 days ago. Multi-camera. More footage. We're beyond that one. More footage. They don't seem to have any fresh footage out already. They never seem to, everybody. Let's see what this is about. That's probably a loop. Yep, this is from 2 days ago, everybody. Oops, push the wrong button. They keep showing us old footage from 2 days ago. They don't seem to have any new footage. Plus something happens on one of the live feeds that we've been watching. We really don't get to see any new footage. For 2 days they've been keeping us in the dark. They don't want the people to know what's going on. Let's see what this is about.
Iran.
Even if this story isn't necessarily true this time, it is what we would expect out of the regional war escalation ladder, where we're slowly seeing the Iranians work their way up to the most extreme targets that they can manage. We've already seen them go after civilian infrastructure, U.S. military bases, the entire GCC, and of course, U.S. warships have always been on that part of the escalation ladder. Even if the Lincoln wasn't targeted this time around, I would expect it to be targeted in the near future, and perhaps with an even larger barrage than this. After all, we're in the no-holds-barred phase for the Iranians after Khamenei's assassination. I think that every viable scenario and every viable target, the Iranians will be trying to go for.
Two
until
days
this
ago, they
conflict
said
comes
they
to an end.
shot 2 missiles at the Abraham Lincoln
That's
boat.
right. And James Borden, should this be true,
It
we
was
can expect,
unconfirmed
a swift
2 days
reaction
ago on
from the
Ranimal
United
media.
States. Already,
We're still
President
not
Trump
sure.
has spoken about and has warned Iran on trying anything
Like I
and
said,
said
these
that,
guys are just
you will
looping
see a
footage
reaction
and
like
they're
none
just
other.
talking and running their
That
mouths
is
because there's
accurate,
nothing,
and it would
nothing to
be
do. They have
interesting
to
to see
keep
what the
their
United
feeds
States
going.
would choose to do as a response. Right now, we seem to be at a very high
I would
operational
hope we could
level
learn something new.
as far
but
as assets
I doubt they're
deployed
going to teach us
against
anything
Iran.
new.
And so it's a
We'll give them a
little bit
chance.
unclear
Welcome into
what
Ranimal Media,
an
everybody.
escalatory response would be to an attack on the Abraham Lincoln, which, again, a lot of provisos on this because yesterday Iran issued a similar statement that it had attacked a United States ship, and that actually ended up not
That's an
being accurate.
AI-generated
So,
rendition of what they're
it's very
talking about,
questionable.
everybody.
The Abraham Lincoln has a lot of high media visibility, and so announcing this kind of thing is definitely, as we are seeing, something that will grab the attention of the media and the world's attention. So, again, very interesting if it
Be
has
best not
happened,
mess with
but
American
it's
boats.
still very uncertain how the United States would respond because
Not
they would
smart.
see this as a normal part of that escalatory ladder.
That's
Welcome
right.
into
Sanjeev
Ranimal
Ori,
Media.
we want to get you in on what is happening currently in Dubai. There's a lot of concern. There's been a, a
Well,
fresh
tune us in,
wave
lady,
of,
please.
drones
Tune us
and
in.
missiles, headed towards
We want
towards the Gulf
updates.
countries and the UAE. What is the situation right now? As you can imagine, a lot of concern here in India.
So Gargi, hi, thank you. And
Be sure to like,
Gargi,
share, and
there
subscribe
is a
to
news
Ranimal
of
Media.
relief that we've
I do
received
appreciate
about
it,
2 hours
everybody.
back
Thank you.
from the National Emergency Crisis and Disaster Management Authority that the situation is under control. Anyways, there has been panic since yesterday, around 1 a.m., midnight 1 a.m., when we actually started getting the emergency flash messages from the government, and we could, hear explodes happening around in and near the Dubai. And all the people were on the road. There was a lot of panic today morning also. The people,
Yeah,
because
we seen them
being a
running.
Sunday, definitely there was not rush on the roads and everywhere. But yes, people are avoiding to
They
go
were
out,
mass
and even
evacuating.
in the localities, you will not see people where they are because here once the request has been made by the government, people choose to they make sure the orders are listened and people be inside the houses. So yes, we have received this message 2 hours back that the situation is under control. As of now, all the religious places has been closed. We've received, a circular from the Gurudwara Sahib in Dubai and the Hindu temple, that it has been closed, and the schools has been put on
With
online
that,
studies for Monday and Tuesday. Something is happening in the sky. We can definitely, we can hear it for sure because the commercial flights are not operational. So if you
Right.
hear
welcome in to
something, yeah,
Ranimal
if you
Media,
hear
everybody.
something in the sky,
I do
some movement
appreciate each
is
and every
going
one of you
on.
for being here
But
with me
we
tonight.
always had this trust in our government here in Dubai, that they would be taking care of it, and they are taking well care of it. As a citizen, as a resident of Dubai, we feel safe, and definitely things are in control, and the citizens and the residents of UAE, they are safe.
All right. Well, good to hear that, from you, Sanjeev Ori. But coming back to the situation, Ryan Bol, a day after we're seeing, a day after the Israel and U.S. attack in Iran that took out the Supreme Leader Khamenei, now we're seeing the sort of response coming from Iran. Do you feel these strikes really achieved what it, set out to, or in fact, has achieved a result that they wanted to prevent because of Iran is vowing vengeance, vowing revenge. We've also seen an interim committee come into place after Khamenei was removed.
All right. We're gonna move on from them talking. Let's hop back to Mr. Steve real quick and see if he has any new live updates happening.
Or yes mean you want me to play it. People are saying yes, but I don't know what yes means. That's my fault on the question. Play it both, no, play it. A bunch of people are saying play it.
Viewer discretion
I
is
just find it's
advised
going to
on
drive you
Ranimal
crazy because
Media.
people don't want to see a video of something. I think I'm going to play some of it. We'll see how, again, I haven't even had a chance to watch it, and I was interested in what he was saying today. He answered a bunch of questions. So why don't we look at it? Let's look at it and see how it goes. I'll keep an eye on it. I mean, if stuff happens, I'll just go away from it. And if there's alerts or whatever. But let me pull it up here.
Let us know what Mr. Trump said today.
Oh, I can put it on the top. I'll put it on the top. I'll leave the
top.
Beirut cam on. Oh no, I'll leave both cams on. I'll leave both cameras on. I'll put it on the side. Oops, I don't want to do that. So what I got to do here is do it this way. I'll do it this way.
Welcome in for Ranimal Media. I appreciate you guys for stopping and
I'll leave
hanging
the
out
other
with me.
cameras up, but I'll turn the volume down. Triple camera coverage. All right, so I'm going to post. This is him. I believe he's answering. This is him answering questions. I'll forward through the part where he talks to the German chancellor. I think that's not most of it, though. I think most of it is him answering questions. Oh yes. Okay. So I'm gonna start right where he starts answering questions. So what I'm gonna do.
There's something flying in the middle of the screen, everybody. Viewer discretion is advised. I'm Ranimal Media.
I'll put this, like I'll make it small and I'll put it over, maybe I'll put it here. How does that sound? What if I put it right there? And then this is from earlier today.
Oh, there's no airplanes flying around. That makes that a
At least you can
UAV.
see it. We can hear it. Earlier today, right?
Oh, Trump's in the gold room. Shining.
That's too big. Obviously too big. Earlier today.
Over there. Ranimal just keeps yawning on you guys.
Okay.
Hope you guys
So
all
this is
with
Trump
time.
answering questions earlier today.
Welcome into Ranimal Media.
And let's hear some of what I'll keep it small on the screen, but let's hear some of what he had to say. And I'll keep an eye on for other reports too. He basically says, what are your questions? So we'll hear the questions.
Good.
Comfortable place.
You liked it, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, great place.
That's
and
good.
a famous place.
That's
yeah.
good. Very
so
famous.
many former presidents.
That's right.
Yeah.
Very famous place. Any questions, please?
Mr. President, did Israel force your hand to launch these strikes against Iran? Did Netanyahu pull the United States into this war?
No, I might have forced their hand.
Question?
You see, we were having negotiations with these lunatics, and it was my opinion that they were going to attack first. They were going to attack. If we didn't do it, they were going to attack first. I felt strongly about that. And we
I felt
have
strongly about
great
that.
negotiators, great people that do this very successfully and have done it all their lives very successful. And based on the way the negotiation was going, I think they were going to attack first. And I didn't want that to happen. So if anything, I might have forced Israel's hand. But Israel was ready and we were ready, and we've had a very, very powerful impact because virtually everything they have has been knocked out now. Their missile count is going way down. Amazingly, they're hitting
The
countries
commander
that
said
were,
that he was taking out
let's
all
call
their
them
Navy
neutral,
boats.
right? They lived together for a long time.
He says he
They-
already took out half of them. He's going to
I
take out
think
the
they
other
were
half of
surprised.
them.
I was surprised. I think it, and
Welcome
now those
into
countries
Ranimal
are all
Media.
fighting against them and
Breaking
fighting
news,
strongly
breaking
against
news,
them.
live update, Ranimal exclusive.
Someday they'll
Welcome
write a
in,
story
everybody.
and they'll say why they did that, but they hit countries that had nothing to do with what's going on. They were sort of leaving everything alone. All of a sudden they had missiles shot in, which shows you the level of evil that we're dealing with. They'll hit people that were actually at least somewhat
They were
friendly.
attacking people that had nothing to do with
And
it.
they had no problems with it. Also hitting only civilian
Not sure who he's
places,
talking about.
hotels,
Ranimal's little
apartment
salon
buildings,
thing sometimes.
and we're hitting
you guys
them
know more about it,
where
let me
it
know in the
is
comments box
much
below.
more
I do
appropriate.
appreciate
We're hitting
it.
them very hard, and
Thank you.
the big scale hitting goes now. They no longer have air protection. They no longer have any
No air
detection
protection.
facilities at all left, and
Navy
so
ships
they're
are
gonna,
pretty
they're going to be in
low.
for a lot of hurt. These are bad people. These are people that killed. I guess it's 35,000. It's coming out 35,000 over the last 3 weeks. Protesters.
Wow.
35,000 violently killed. So these are
Wow,
bad
that's
people.
insane,
And the
everybody.
leader of the pack is gone. And as you know, 49 people were taken out in the first hit. And I guess there was another hit today on the new leadership. And it looks like that was pretty substantial also.
Breaking news.
So they're
breaking
getting hit
news.
very hard, and we'll see what happens. A lot of
On
people are
Ranimal
coming
Media.
forward. A lot of the people you would least suspect want to quit. They want to have immunity. They're asking for immunity, and probably at some point they'll be dropping, as you would say, laying down their guns. We'll see what happens. In the meantime, we're just continuing to
Lay
go
down your
forward.
guns,
The military
everybody.
is the #1 in the world by
America
far,
does not want war.
and we are. This is everything's
You
big.
guys just
in
aren't
my
allowed to
book.
have a nuke.
Venezuela was big. This is big. The original hit, Midnight Hammer, was big. Everything you view is big.
Y'all need to knock it off out there, guys. Everyone needs to get
It's not
along.
considered very big by some standards, by some of our standards. We have a military like no other military that's ever been built.
So was that the Mr. President, what's the worst case
Ranimal
scenario if
expects you
have
all
war
to
in
get
Iran?
along. I
Well, I
appreciate
don't know
it.
if there's a worst
Thank you,
case.
guys.
We have them very much beaten militarily from the military standpoint. They're still lobbing some missiles. At some point, they won't even be able to do that because we're hitting all of their carriers. We're hitting all of their missile stock. You know, they built up all these missiles over the last few years. They had a lot of them. They've shot a lot of them, and we're
That could be
knocking
a
out a
good
lot.
reason why we're not seeing too much action
I guess the
anymore.
worst case would be we do this and then somebody takes over who's as bad as the previous person, right? That could happen. We don't want that to happen. That would probably be
We
the
don't
worst.
want
You
that
go
to
through
happen.
this and then in 5 years you realize you put somebody in who was no better. So I'd like to see somebody in there that's going to bring it back for the people. And we'll see what happens with the people. You know, they have their chance. And we've said don't do it yet. If you're going to go out and protest, don't do it yet. It's very dangerous out there. A lot of bombs are being dropped. But I always say that would be about the worst.
Do you have someone in mind right now? Because you said all the people you did have in mind have been taken out. What do you
Well,
think?
most of the
exile
people we had in mind are dead. So, you know, we had
All
some
the
in
people
mind
that
from
had
that
in mind
group
are
that
dead.
is dead. And now we have another group. They may be dead also, based on reports. So I guess you have a third wave coming in. Pretty soon we're not going to know anybody. But we have, I mean, Venezuela was so incredible because we did the attack and we kept government totally intact. And we have Delcy, who's been very good. We have the whole chain of command, and they've been, you know, look, the relationship's been great. We've taken out 100 million barrels of oil already, and a big part of that goes to them, and a big part goes to us. And it's been great. We paid for the war many
100
times
million
over,
barrels of
and we're going
oil.
to be running the oil. And Venezuela is going to make more money than they ever made, and that's great for the people. The relationship has been great. It's been seamless. Nobody's actually ever seen anything like it. If you look at Iraq, where very stupidly everybody was fired, the generals were fired, the military was fired, the police were fired, the fire departments were fired, and all of the government workers were fired. So after, you know, people would call, they had no idea. And by the way, ISIS was formed. That's where ISIS came from, all of the fired people. We don't believe in that. So we'll see what happens, but first we have to finish off the military.
What do you think? Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi, is he an option at all in your mind?
I guess he is. Some people like him, and we haven't been thinking about too much about that. It
guess
would
some
seem to
people
me
like
that somebody
him.
from within maybe would be
Not sure who they're
more
talking about,
appropriate. I've said
everybody.
that. He looks like a very nice person, but it would seem to me that somebody that's there, that's currently popular, if there's such a person, but we have people like that. We have people that were more moderate, You know, these were radical lunatics, and you know what they get? They get nothing. All they do is kill people.
Welcome into Ranimal Media, everybody.
Not your turn.
We're listening to
Not
Mr.
your
Trump
turn.
at the moment.
Please.
Mr. President,
Welcome in, welcome in.
It take the heat off the Europeans to potentially help you. Mark Rutte called on the allies to also help you. And
What does that mean?
Well,
What's that mean?
Mark Rutte, he said not as part of NATO, but to be helpful to you in this. And will
Well,
you
some
let
of the European nations have been helpful, and some haven't. And I'm, very surprised. Germany's been great. He's been terrific. Others have been very good, terrific. I think that the head of NATO, Mark, is fantastic. Okay, Mark Rutte. I think he's fantastic. But some of the European, like Spain, has been terrible. In fact, I told Scott to cut off all dealings with Spain. Spain, first of all, it started when every European nation, at my request, paid 5%, which they should be doing. And everybody was enthusiastic about it, Germany, everybody. And Spain didn't do it. And now Spain actually said that we can't use their bases, and that's all right. We could use their base if we want. We could just fly in and use it. Nobody's going to tell us not to use it, but we don't have to. But they were unfriendly. And so I told him, we don't want to. Spain has absolutely nothing that we need other than great people. They have great people, but they don't have great leadership. And as you know, they were the only country that in NATO would not agree to go up to 5%. I don't think they
Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to Ranimal Media.
They wanted to keep it at 2%, and they don't pay the 2%. So we're going to cut off all trade with Spain. We don't want anything to do with Spain.
What is the expectation towards?
And I'm not, by the way, I'm not happy with the UK either. That island that you read about, the lease, okay, he made it, for whatever reason, he made a lease of the island. Somebody came and took it away from him. And it's taken 3-4 days for us to work out where we can land there. It would have been much more convenient landing there as opposed to flying many extra hours. So we are very surprised. This is not Winston Churchill that we're dealing with.
Mr. President, what's your expectations towards Germany? What can Germany do and what should Germany do to help you in this conflict?
Well, I think they're doing it. I mean, they're letting us land in certain areas, and that's, we appreciate it. And they're just making it comfortable. We're not asking them to put boots on the ground.
Thank you, guys.
I mean, we're just they're a respected
Welcome into Ranimal
country.
Media, Germany.
I have a very good relationship with the country. We have,
Welcome
in particular now,
Welcome into Ranimal Media.
With this new leader. I think he's an excellent leader. I had my differences with Angela.
Welcome
I said, you're hurting your country with immigration, and you're hurting your country with energy. And we have a man sitting on my right that is, I think, pretty much the opposite of her on energy and the opposite on immigration. And I think he's doing very well.
Commercial air travel right now.
Light yourself a fine Ranimal cigar. Grab yourself a drink of some kind.
Well, because it happened all very quickly.
I appreciate each and every one of you for joining
And
Ranimal
I
Media.
thought, maybe more so than most, I could ask Marco.
Make sure you guys share this live
but I
stream
thought
out.
we
I
were
do
going
appreciate
to
it.
have a situation where we were going to be attacked. They were getting ready to attack
I want to
Israel.
grow this community and
They were
also
getting
spread
ready to
awareness
attack
of what's going
others.
on.
You're seeing that right now. And
I
a lot of
appreciate
those
everybody.
missiles that
Thank
are
you.
hitting in, those are stationary. Those were aimed there for a long period of time at these other countries. So I think I was right about that. We attacked first. And if we didn't, it could have been, look, we're really decimating them. They're being decimated.
Decimated.
And if we didn't hit, and by the way, we have massive amounts of ammunition. We have the high end. A lot of it was given away stupidly
Top shelf
by Biden, very
ammo.
stupidly for free. And I'm all for Ukraine, but they gave away a lot.
They gave away some.
As
A
you know,
lot.
when I give
A
away
lot, some.
ammunition, everybody pays for it. The European Union's paying for it. Then they can do what they want with it, but they are giving it, let's say, to Ukraine, and it's okay. But we gave away a lot of high end, but we have plenty. But we have unlimited middle and upper ammunition, which is really what we're using in this war. And we have really an unlimited supply. We also have a lot of the very high end stored in different countries throughout the world. We're literally storing it there, which is actually something that I insisted on in my first term. I rebuilt the military in my first term. The military is great. Unbelievable amount of ammunition, or munitions, as they say, we're given away to. The Wall Street Journal incorrectly covered the story when they said that it was given away to the Middle East. Not to the Middle East, it was given away to Ukraine. Very little was given to the Middle East. The Middle East would buy a lot, and some of the nations, because they're rich, they have a lot, but it was given away to Ukraine. And it just should have been done. Look, it's a war that should have never happened. If I were president, that war would have never happened. But we have a tremendous amount of munitions, ammunition at the upper level, middle and upper level, all of which is really powerful stuff.
Mr. President, a question to both of you. How worried are you that the rising prices for gas and oil are damaging the American economy, and also was the Chancellor?
Yeah, do you want to go ahead?
Yeah, sure. This is, of course, damaging our economies. This is true for the oil price.
Just to update you, we have a couple of, at this point, one rocket alert in the northeast.
Breaking news on Ranimal Media.
The northeast, they just disappeared. There were briefly
Your
a couple of rocket alerts
advised.
in the northeast of the country.
Welcome
that
in
disappeared.
to Ranimal Media.
I'll look into that, but that was only up there for a little bit, so I'll check out what I can find.
Prices, and this is true for the gas prices as well. So that's the reason why we all hope that this war will come to an end as soon as possible, and we are hoping that the Israeli and the American army are doing the right things to bring this to an end and to have really a new government in place who is coming back to peace and freedom.
Yeah, something had to be done, and it's been 47 years. They've been killing people all over the world for a long time. They were the kings and fathers of the roadside bomb. Soleimani, we killed him last term. If we didn't, I think it might be a different story today. They would have been much stronger and smarter than they are. But they did the roadside bombs. 95% of the people lost their legs, arms, had their face wiped out, just wiped out. I've seen some
nuts
young people that it's so sad to watch. And that was almost all, 95% comes from Iran and with Soleimani. Soleimani loved his favorite weapon. He loved the roadside bomb. And when you see people walking around with no legs and no arms and a face that's been blown to hell, these people, what they have to go and the way they have to live, this is Iran. When you look at the barracks, the famous barracks, when you look at the hostages, when you look at a lot of hostages, when you look at all of the problems, they were really a purveyor of terror all over the world for many, many years. And it's something that had to be done, and I believe that if we didn't, because I see where Congress, if I didn't do this, guys like Schumer, who are losers, the Democrats, they're losers, that's why they're not here. Guys like Schumer would say, well, you should have done this. In other words, if I did it, it's no good. If I didn't do it, they would have said the opposite, that you should have done this. But most people feel, I tell you what, I have never had more confidence on something I did. People felt it's something that had to be done. So if we have a little high
going on
oil prices for a little while,
on the East Coast
as soon
of
as
the
this
United
ends,
States.
those prices are going to drop, I believe, lower than
Welcome
even
in,
before.
welcome in to Ranimal Media. Let me know where you guys are watching from in the comments box below. I do appreciate everybody.
How do you want to solve the conflict on terrorists?
Be sure to share my videos out.
Between who?
Thank you.
Conflict on terrorists.
I do appreciate it.
How do you want to solve
And U.S. and who?
EU, European Union.
Well, we won on tariffs, actually. Somebody said you actually won the case. We won on tariffs. We had a decision that was wrong. It was a very bad decision from certain standpoints. From other standpoints, a very powerful decision, because it reaffirmed all the fact that we have all these various forms of tariffs that we felt right, but it totally reaffirmed it. It said you can use all of these tariffs. So we have all these vast menus of tariffs. And tariffs have made our country very rich. We have to charge tariffs to nations who play with their money. You know, they move their money up and down like a yo-yo. We have to take care of nations that have been good to us and fair to us, and we're going to take care of them. Other nations, they haven't, and we haven't let them take advantage of us. But the whole thing with tariffs is we had a decision that
I have an update for you. So we heard him speak about. We heard President Trump speak about Iran. I have an update for you.
Cheers, everybody.
I have an update for you guys. A report from the Wall Street Journal. You ready for this?
We're ready. We're ready, Mr. Steve. That's Mr. Steve. Make sure you smash that thumbs up. I appreciate it, everybody. I'm the Ranimal. Welcome in to Ranimal Media.
Wall Street Journal reports. The Wall Street Journal reports a Kuwaiti FA-18 fighter jet was the cause of the accidental shoot-down of 3 American F-15s on Sunday, according to 3 people familiar with initial reports of the incident. One FA-18 pilot launched 3 missiles against the U.S. aircraft, according to a U.S. official.
Fire didn't fire back, apparently. Or take evasive actions.
The journal says that the incident occurred soon after multiple Iranian drones penetrated Kuwaiti air defenses.
We're finding out right now, everybody.
Oh.
Breaking news.
It occurred soon after multiple Iranian drones penetrated Kuwaiti air defenses, with one killing 6 American service members. Kuwaiti officials were on edge when their radars detected the jets flying in and fired on them, the person said. Anyways, so again, the Wall Street Journal is saying that one jet shot down 3 American F-15s.
Crazy.
And one pilot launched 3 missiles.
They must have had Tom Cruise flying.
I mean, I can't confirm that.
Unconfirmed on Ranimal Media.
Anyways, I just wanted to let you know that. I reposted the link in the chat.
Interesting update.
Some of our viewers don't believe it.
Welcome in. Welcome in. How's everybody doing this evening?
So did the pilot launch them all at once? Did the pilot see a bunch of things on the radar and say, I think they're drones, so I'm going to just launch my 3 missiles at
confused
them?
on the whole situation. If you guys know more about what's going on, let Ranimal know in the comments box.
Some of our
below.
viewers think it's not true.
I do
I'm
appreciate
just telling you, that's the Wall Street Journal report.
I just ask that you guys be nice to each other down there.
Martinez says very sketchy. We don't have to watch the rest of the Trump appearance. I mean, I played. He might have talked more about. Should I just play the? I mean, there's probably 17 minutes more of the Trump appearance, but he already answered a bunch of questions on Iran. So I bet a bunch of the rest is not on
You
Iran.
can skip Trump for now. Come back to him another time. Yep.
So we don't have to watch the next 17 minutes.
Good job, Mr.
I think we're fine. I think we're fine. We showed you his appearance.
We're just looking for live updates of what's going on anyway. We're not too worried about.
Because he just started talking about tariffs. It's not all about Iran. If it were all about Iran, I would play it. Yeah, I'm making an executive decision.
We're all on the same page. Let's go, everybody.
We got to see
That
what he
thumbs
talk
up.
about Iran.
Ranimal appreciates it.
Again, the Wall Street Journal reported
Ranimal Media.
that one Kuwaiti fighter jet shot down the
one
3
source for news
American
and
F-15s and said it came
Welcome in,
soon
everybody.
after
Welcome in.
multiple Iranian drones penetrated Kuwaiti air defenses, including one that killed the 6 Americans.
Mr. Stephen, take down the earlier today banner he just put up.
That's the report. They say one pilot
That was
launched
Trump's banner.
3 missiles against the U.S. aircraft. Would you have a new alert of some sort?
Welcome into Ranimal Media. Breaking
Let's
news.
see.
Breaking news.
A rocket alert in the northeast. It's gone. It's already gone. There was a rocket alert in the northeast of Israel for about a few seconds, and now it has disappeared. Now it has disappeared. The alert.
Interesting. Rockets come, rockets go, apparently.
One of our viewers says, "I think someone is full of crap."
Maybe a whole bag of it.
Hey, we're going to get election results too.
Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I do appreciate it.
So I'm going to keep an
everybody.
eye on the election results.
Make sure you guys share out my videos. Share out this live video. I do appreciate it. Help spread awareness about what's going on over there. Right now it doesn't seem like much is going on, but it seems like every time Ranimal logs off, something
Texas
exciting.
primaries tonight.
Ranimal misses all the breaking news. So we're going to hang out here for a little while. Even if it seems boring, welcome in to Ranimal Media. Ranimal's a boring fella. I appreciate each and every one of you for hanging out, joining me.
Oh, the earlier today is still up. I'm sorry. I had the earlier today up because Trump was speaking. Thanks,
I called
JW,
it.
for mentioning that. Hey, thanks, Vast Majority, who says that's some
called
Top
that.
Gun Maverick type of stuff.
That's what I
Thanks
said.
also, Sprinkles.
Look at that. Everyone knows what
Sprinkles
I'm
make
thinking.
DMC walk. Thanks, Shizzleflarf.
They rented Tom Cruise for a little
Michael
while.
S., I have not heard
He's
about a
making a
U.S.
movie
ship
over
being
there.
hit. I've seen no reporting about that. Thank you, CB5171,
Unofficial
KRH
on Ranimal
Systems,
Media.
Aggie Squirrel, Charles Case. Thanks for the memberships, Charles Case. That's very nice of you. Vast Majority, Daniela.
Awesome shows, Charles. Well, he's buffering. Mr. Steve.
Marie, Daniela W.
Scuba Steve's buffering.
Peppy6195, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you for watching too. Lisa Sawyer, Peppy6195, 77 Yeely. 77 Yeely is watching from.
Make sure you guys let me know where you're watching from in the comments
From
box below.
Uruguay. Wow,
I
thanks for
appreciate
watching
it.
from Uruguay.
I do appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, hey guys, I just heard this from Decision Desk HQ. So, Decision Desk HQ posted that a judge has extended the voting period in Dallas County, Texas tonight by 2 hours after confusion among many voters regarding their polling locations. So that's going to delay the Texas results. Dallas County was supposed to be, most of the polls were supposed to close at 8 Eastern time in Texas. Well, it's now been delayed by 2 hours. So if you're waiting for Texas results, you're going to be waiting longer. I'm interested in waiting for them, but
Breaking news, breaking news. On Ranimal Media Live.
that's going to delay everything. Dallas County has 2
Mr. Steve's doing his thing. We'll come over here, refreshing the live once again. See if we can get some new news that we don't already have. Welcome in to Ranimal Media, everybody. Check this thing out. Of course, this is older root footage. Still nuts to watch. Crazy stuff. Hope you guys are safe wherever you're watching from out there. This is some crazy stuff.
المجال الجوي خش في المجال الجوي
Craziness. That's just looped footage. Sure, everything they're showing is just looped footage. And they've been doing that a lot. We're gonna see if we can find anything on the live. We haven't seen another aspect, point of view, something different. We'll hop back over and get back with Mr. Steve before too long. Yeah, these guys are just replaying 2 days ago stuff. Welcome in to Ranimal Media. Let's see what this is. Huh. Nothing seems to be going on. Viewer discretion is advised. There's gunfire taking place somewhere. Welcome in to Ranimal Media. Hope you guys are all having a good day today. A good evening, a good night, wherever the day finds you. Hope you guys are all having a good one. Welcome into Ranimal Media. Breaking news, breaking news. A whole lot going on, everybody. Pretty quiet until the sun comes up. And usually something happens. You hear gunfire every once in a while. Welcome in to Ranimal Media, everybody. Welcome in, welcome in. You can still see smoke from the building from a night and a half ago, from Beirut. Up here above my head. It's still smoking. About all the action that's going on at the moment. Yep, there's gunfire again. Not a whole lot going on here. We'll pop back to Mr. Steve. See if he has any live updates. Yeah.
CNN says the Trump administration has been in active discussion with Iranian opposition groups and Kurdish leaders in Iraq about providing them with military support.
After 8 p.m. on the east side of the
And CNN said Iranian Kurdish opposition forces are expected to take part in a ground operation in western Iran in the coming days.
Breaking news on Ranimal Media.
One of our viewers says, Tidewell says, arm the Kurds so Trump can betray them again? What could go wrong? And ITV was reporting something similar. Oh, did the lights go out? Did you guys see lights go out? I remember from 2024 we would see lights go out on some buildings in the Lebanon feed. I don't know if that's just the power going out normally. I know we used to see that a bunch.
Just to wonder what they're sucking the power for. It's going out. They're using it somewhere.
Hang on, I'll check one thing. B says a couple sections went out. By the way, here's this is an AI question. I said to Gemini, does power go out regularly in Beirut? Gemini, power outages are a constant and defining feature of life in Beirut. The state-run utility is typically only able to provide between 6 and 10 hours of electricity per day.
Okay.
Okay, by the way, ITV News
maybe if you guys
also
play nice, Elon Musk will hook you guys
an
up.
armed uprising inside Iran with ground operation expected within days.
Breaking news on Ranimal Media.
ITV reports that since last year, weapons have been smuggled into western Iran to arm thousands of Kurdish volunteers. They are expected to begin a ground operation within days. ITV reports that American and Israeli forces have been asked to provide air cover when any such ground operation begins, but it is unclear if that request has been approved. Why would they disclose that? Yes, why would this be leaked?
I was just going to ask
It's
that.
a good question. Why? If
I was
it's
just
true,
going to
why
let
would
him
it be
roll
leaked?
with it.
So
figure,
who
hey,
knows?
what the heck?
I mean, so I could come up with scenarios. Suppose that Kurds thought they weren't receiving enough support. Maybe they'd be like, maybe they're like in desperation, we got to leak this. Suppose somebody doesn't want it to happen. They might leak it too. I could come up with all kinds of reasons why people might leak it. But it seems like somebody on the inside is leaking it to multiple outlets.
Welcome in to Ranimal Media. All right, everybody. We're going to get out of here. We're not going to sit around and listen to no news all night. I'm going to go make some more videos for you guys. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to Ranimal Media. I do appreciate it, everybody. Thank you very much. You guys all take care. Have a nice evening. I will catch you guys